Good. Well, I can yell at Ryan to hurry up.
I don't even think it's on his end.
I can yell at Ryan. Yeah, Ryan and I go long back.
So I'm glad after long conversations that she sees the value and she sees why she needs representation. Just going into it as a first time home buyer, there were a lot of things that we discussed that she just wasn't aware of. And I just let her know, regardless, she needs someone on her side. And
Yeah,
yeah, she took to it really well. So thank you for all the advice and thank you for the bounce back, which is conversation. It helped me prepare to have the conversation with her.
that's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about.
So fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'll have something that we are under contract soon.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
you will have something that you're under contract soon.
You
Not
will.
hopefully, you will.
You will.
Thank you.
So we're not going to have a Sam this morning. He's got a really bad cold. So this is a feral Friday.
I just got over that. They got a stomach bug, so I know how he feels.
Perfect. Feral Friday. I have a question.
Let's do it. But
Can
first,
okay.
wins.
My win is that I went and delivered pretzels to past clients yesterday for the new year. I was kind of late on Christmas, but my mom makes these really good pretzels. And I was like, you know what? I'm still going to deliver them. And my client wants his sister to move out here. So he connected me with her. So that was a win.
That's a win.
Yep.
I got one I'm excited about.
Okay.
Yes, yesterday I got a call from a lender from Veterans United saying that my client is pre-approved, and I'm like, they told me the name, and I was like, I don't know that person. I don't know who that is. I was like, can you spell out the last name? I went through my CRM and everything. I was like, I don't have that person at all. So I ended up getting the contact information and reaching out to them. Apparently, their parents are clients of mine,
Oh.
and their parents referred me to them and said how well I helped them out. Well, I got that client, so we're doing showings and everything today. But at the same time, 20 minutes after I got off the phone, they referred me to their friends. So I got two referrals from a previous client.
Awesome.
There you go. Congratulations. We are in the business of repeat and referrals. That's what we want. And we only get that by having excellent customer service and or relationships.
Well, the reason being that their parents highly recommended me is my communication, dedication, integrity, and willing to go above and beyond for them.
Aww.
Yeah, I was like, well, I don't think I did
Have
that
they
much.
left you a review?
Not yet because I'm still working with them.
Oh, because I'm like, that sounds like a great review. Have them write it down on a piece of on something for you, you know?
Yeah, I'm currently working with them. They're out in Tennessee, and their kids are here on Fort Huachuca.
Next win. We got one more win before we can let Caitlin ask her question.
I may have picked up my second listing. The clients I'm working with right now, we're about to go view some houses and they want to put in an offer. As soon as they buy the house, they want to list their current house.
There you go. I like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 3 and out. Look at that. Now it's on you, Caitlin.
I was really looking forward to talking with Sam because of all the news that happened yesterday about Trump buying 200 million in
Bonds.
bonds. Thank you. I'm like, loans is the only word coming to my head. Yes, bonds. Thank you. Um, So what's was that wasn't for sure passed? We're waiting to see if that was passed. Is that correct? Can we just go elaborate on that a little bit more? Like, it's going to directly affect. This is the only, like, this is what would directly affect interest rates, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
but correct me
Is
if I'm wrong,
this
Dan.
how? Say it again.
I was asking Dan to correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that only for the Texas market, like Houston area?
No, that's treasury bonds.
Okay.
And it's 200 billion, not million.
Oh, damn.
With a
Okay.
B.
With a B, but it hasn't been passed yet. How likely is it that this is going to go through?
Well, how many times in your adult life have you seen a president claim to do something and Congress say, no?
Mm, mm,
So will it happen? I don't know. Has it started to have conversations? Yes, just like now. This is an executive direction, administrative move, not that it has to be voted in for law. The thing is markets have already responded to the announcement. Mortgage-backed securities specifically are rallying, and that spreads the treasury tightened. So
Yep.
that'll see some implication to our mortgages.
as far as rates dropping, correct?
Yeah, buying a large amount of bonds increases demand for those bonds, pushing mortgage-backed security prices up. So
Okay.
I don't know how we can see rates going down when scarcity is limited in the mortgage bond environment. It
Okay.
might move us a tenth of a point. I don't know if it's going to be a huge swing until the acquisition's actually done.
Okay.
So it might be some downward nudge, but it won't be massive. It'll be a window of slightly better rates when the buying is active. Not so much like, I think right now what's in our favor is the news cycles are talking about it, which makes consumers think rates are going down, which
Yeah.
then gets consumers in the marketplace to say, hey, I heard this. Is it real? So
Generates conversations around real estate.
yeah, it's right now the best move is to watch rates
Okay.
and avoid.
I just want to be
over-promising.
prepared, like
Yeah.
for this weekend, if I'm talking to anyone and if they have any questions about it, just because I just really didn't fully understand it.
Yeah, no, the big thing there is it's his policy, not kind of almost an executive action to buy
Mhm.
up 200 billion in mortgage bonds, but he's doing it through Freddie Mae and I can't ever say it. Fannie Mae.
Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac,
Fucking,
Franny.
why do they have to do that? So
Okay, so now I had a lender that told me at one point in time, this isn't like exact every single time, but a lot of the times if you see the prices lower, you'll start to see rates lower a little bit.
you cut out a little bit when you start.
Well, and
lower?
when you start to see gas prices go lower, you'll start to see rates go lower as well.
Not always. You got to remember what just happened 3 days ago.
Venezuela
Yeah, why did we go into Venezuela?
for oil.
It had nothing to do with fentanyl, had nothing to do with a tyrant dictator that's ruining.
No, if he did, he'd go to Mexico.
We have 63 countries in the world that have a tyrant dictator that's ruining their country. Only one of them has more oil reserves than Russia.
Mm.
And that's
Venezuela. Okay.
So, there's always this joke and meme that I see in the military spaces that, you know, if a country's got oil, the US finds a way to invade. Like,
Yep.
oh man, like there's a picture of a guy washing, like cleaning up his car, and he's like, oh man, I got oil on my hand, and the military runs in.
Mhm.
We tend to do that, guys. Where do you think oil is in the Middle East? It rhymes with
Unfortunately, no.
yeah. It's Afghanistan and Iraq. The next place is Saudi Arabia. You know why we haven't gone into Saudi Arabia to take stuff? Because they're already our partners. That's why you're seeing gas prices come down, because there's this perception that we're going to have a better supply.
Okay.
We're years away from anything actually impacting the oil reserves and supply.
Okay.
You can't pluck the leader of a country, regardless of his legitimacy, and not have some type of ripple effect to the infrastructure and economy locally, which will then affect us locally.
So
Will we see
did
that? Yes.
did the capture of the president drop rates at all? Because I know that sometimes
No.
that same lender, no, they haven't. Okay, well, that same lender had said war is bad for, you know, the people, the good, but it works in our favor for mortgage rates.
Yeah, you know why?
Why? Because people aren't buying.
No, they're turning on the printing machines. Interest and inflation are actually on the same teeter-totter. When inflation's going up, the cost of goods and services going up, and money is harder to come by, or the opposite, money's easier to come by, right? That's why prices go up, because we're deflating the value of the dollar by printing more of it. That's, you know, if you've got 10 sheep, the cost per sheep is $1, right? Now, let's say I add 90 sheep to the equation. The overall marketplace hasn't changed. The value expectation hasn't changed. The supply has. So now each sheep is now worth 10% of what it used to be worth. You see what I'm saying? So when we when we cash infuse the market like that, when they turn on what they call turn on the machines and print cash, what they're doing is they're inflating cash reserves. Because there's no standard at which they're back to. There's no gold standard, there's no silver standard, there's no anything standard. It's just, okay, let's just artificially inflate values. Oh, let's look at Venezuela. They have billion-dollar bills. Because they just turned on the printing machines. Like, their valuations and stuff is ridiculous. A hot dog's like $19 billion in Venezuela. But because it's their inflated currency. Now, let's turn that around. Is okay, when we're just printing money, and anyone can get it. So lenders are like, well, we've got to price it out. We have to make it as cheap as possible to get money so people will use our loans. That's where rates go down. We start pulling that back, where we turn off the spending machines, even pull money out of the market, which is what you see here, is pulling money back out of the market to stabilize things and not let it run rampant, that where a gallon of milk doesn't cost you $9. Money is harder to get, so you'll see interest rates go up. That has a fulcrum point at which businesses can no longer afford to hire and or retain employees. So there's a lot of job loss, unemployment, which turns into economic downturn because of consumerism's dropping. And then we see rates come down through some type of federal demand. They demand rates to come down. The Fed cuts the interest rates, or there's some type of situation like we're in now that you'll see them. But naturally, loans follow your consumerism, because the people that are controlling the actual money are playing investor. The consumer doesn't really affect it. Even when the Fed drops the rate, it doesn't change the mortgage rate because it's based on the bond. So Trump's like, let me buy up some bonds. Let me shore up that market so that I can control what happens. Then we can force down the rate. It's not going to be a monumental force. Right now, rates are still in the 6%, 6.1, 6.15, 6.25, right? Which is where they've been for the better part of 4 months.
Yeah.
Even when the Fed dropped the rates in December, when they did their Fed cut, your credit card rates went down. Your car loan rates went down. Your student loan rates went down. Mortgages went up. But stories like this say, hey, Trump's buying bonds, creates the, oh, it's better for us. Let's go do something.
Mm.
It's like, hey,
Okay.
you want this half dozen eggs or you want these 6 beautiful eggs?
People that are paying attention, sometimes it paralyzes them. Well, I'm gonna wait until they finish doing the bond buyback.
Unfortunately, you're correct. A lot of people that are sitting and watching the money markets are now like, nope, I'm not doing shit. This will affect a lot of your 55 up plus communities, your luxury communities, your second home communities, because bonds will definitely infect stock market. And where do people have their money if they have a lot of money?
Invested in stocks and bonds.
Stocks and bonds, baby. Stocks and bonds.
Because when
Treasury-
bonds go up, stocks go down, right?
Not always.
No? Okay.
There's not
So
a
wait-
direct correlation, but there is a somewhat historical correlation sometimes.
Okay.
I mean,
I have a really hard time understanding all of this. So if we could just dumb it down to like a kindergarten explanation, what you're saying for the people that are affected by it, it's because stocks are going to go down. They're not going to have as much money in that account. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, here's the
For
thing,
like
right?
the 55 plus?
Yeah, they don't always just let's go back to stocks and bonds. They don't always move in this in the same opposition. They move in changes with the economy. Because if I'm getting 6% in a stock, and I call it 6%, it could be more. If I'm getting 6% in a stock, but then I can get 10% in a bond, what am I going to do?
Go to buy bonds.
I'm going to move my money to bonds. Right? Now, if I can only get 5% in a bond and I can get 6% in stocks, what am I going to do? I'm gonna move my money back to stocks. That's why you kind of see the inversion scale there, is because one's like, oh, this is better, I'm gonna go there. This is better, I'm gonna go there. So that's why you kind of see that normal moving in opposition.
Okay.
When high quality bond prices go up, which means yields are down, investors are usually seeking safety, which happens when stocks are under pressure. Stocks go under pressure heavily during the printing machine. Because why are companies, saying my valuation's higher when the dollar gets devalued?
How do we know they're printing more money? They just are? Do
They'll
they have to
tell-
announce it?
Yeah, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Economic easing. You'll hear that term, economic easing. Versus
So like
easing.
when they gave everyone those stimulus checks, that's what they were trying to do, is stimulate the market, but now they're trying to take money out of it.
So the
Oh wait, sorry, not take money out of it. Sorry, adding more money to it just by printing more.
Right. You're throwing $2,000.
Okay.
Now, right now, the stimulus checks that we're talking about are actually not stimuli, but they're tariff rebates. Different thing. We have a surplus of money that came in from our tariff. So Daddy Trump was all, let's give the service members $2,000. I support that 100%. Let's go back to Obama, or I think even Trump did it too. I'm not a political economist, guys. Trust me. I might be wrong. Look this up on your own. But when they did the stimulus checks and they were just sending money out there, it was to stimulate people's desire to buy stuff and solve the economy that way. That was printing money. That was us not having the influx in taxes or the influx in tariffs or the influx in anything. That was us going, we need to find a way to get people to go out and buy a big screen TV. Let's give them $2,000. And it did work. I remember Obama, when I bought a house at like 19, 20 years old, there was an $8,000 first-time home buyer credit. That was huge. But that was
Really?
printing money. Mind you, this was like when he was in term 20 years ago. So. Good questions today, guys.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you.
A lot to think about. One of the tough things about a real estate agent is you need to learn the economy and understand how stocks, bonds, treasury yield, and all that stuff affects your business. It's still confusing as hell, and I would love to have Steve Lemons on to talk about that, because he is. I'll ask him to come on soon and we'll get him on and we'll talk about it. You know, have
Yeah,
some.
that would be great.
He's a 21-year economist. That's what his job is an economy major. He's a lender by happenstance, but the man knows the economy and he knows money. So understanding how that's going to affect you, if you have a listing in a 55 up community, this is an important conversation. If you have a buyer looking for a 55 up community, this is an important conversation, right? When I'm losing 20 to 30% of my net value in my stocks or bonds, am I going to go buy a second home or am I going to sell my second home?
We're gonna sell
So
it.
Right? I'm going to shore up some money the best places I can. It's not just put your money in the stock market and make millions. It's be smart about it, diversify. And that's why people look at, okay, where am I making money? Where am I losing money? What affects the long term? What doesn't? So bonds go up, stocks are struggling, bonds go down, stocks are good. Sometimes. So the directions of interest rates is the key driver of bonds.
Yeah.
So interest rates move before bonds do? Okay. So we're gonna see interest rates moving now because he had announced this potentially buying the bonds, correct? That's why you're saying they're already baking it in?
I wouldn't say baking it in, but they're expecting it. That's why you see things. I'm gonna mute Trey because Trey's in his school now. Have fun at school today, Trey. Love you. See you later. Be good.
Okay, sorry, what'd you say?
I was talking shit to Trey.
Oh.
No, actually, I'm sorry. Bonds move first. Mortgage rates react, especially against the 10-year yield. So let's say investors, treasuries, and mortgage-backed securities all move. Like the next day, you'll see rates move.
Okay. So we're gonna be waiting until who has to pass it? Congress?
I don't even think they have to pass it. It's an executive order. It's not a judicial one or a law at all. It's not legislative. It's him doing it.
Oh, so he's not asking for anyone's permission. He's just gonna do it.
He's instructed the reserves to do so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
I know this is a celestial level conversation, guys. Big brain stuff, but it's going to affect you. If you're seeing it in the news cycles, who else is?
Everyone.
Clients.
All your friends, clients.
All right. Any other thoughts on that? Any clarity needed?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. Because think about bonds as like Costco. It's wholesale. Big boxes of interest rates. And then those bond prices or the interest on there is then turned to what we as a consumer get because it's the price tag they put on top. Yeah, because I mean, honestly, bonds are moving every day. Big investors trade mortgages and bonds daily. It's our wholesale cost of the money. It's in the car business, we used to call it buy rate, sell rate, because what I have to buy the money from the bank and then mark it up to sell it to you. So if your loan, if it got approved at 2%, I got a 2% markup. So I was paying Chase, Wells Fargo, American Depressed 2%, but I was charging you 4%. And me as a finance or the car dealership, we were making that 2% spread. And as long as you paid your bills, we made money. And then the bank would pay us the lump sum of the entire of that, what we called the spread. And that's where our profit came from. That's why you always go to credit unions, because there's never markup on credit union money. Just so you know, when you're buying a car. So when the prices go up, when bonds go up, the interest that they pay goes down because when the prices they're making their money on the initial purchase, so the interest rate comes down, and that usually lets lenders offer lower rates. So Trump is buying back inventory. So let's look at supply and demand, right? When supply goes down, prices go up, right? So when those bond prices go up, interest rates can come down. It's weird. I wish it was like a linear understanding of things, but when bond prices drop, the cost goes up, the rates go up. So first the bond moves, which we saw. Now lenders will update the rate sheets today over the weekend. And maybe we'll see some sub 5%, not sub 5%, sub 6%. I really think that we start seeing rates with a 5 in them. We're going to get a lot of movement. Just something about 5.99 versus 6.015 or 6.159 or whatever it is. Did we confuse the hell out of you this morning?
You answered a lot of my questions. Thank you. I am more confused though, but that's okay.
Okay. What's the confused part? Let's answer. You got 3 minutes.
No, to be honest with you, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Jeez, I just kicked my dog. Okay. What?
Get out of the way, dog.
I know, move. No, I think it like it does make sense, but it's kind of like the just like fully grasping it. So he is going to be buying those bonds.
Yeah.
We could see a slight downtick in mortgage rates. However, it's not for sure, and it won't be for a little while, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So here's the thing. The government is jumping in as a massive buyer, like a massive bond buyer.
Mm-hmm.
That extra demand pushes bonds down.
Okay.
Because why would he buy these bonds? I can buy those bonds cheaper, right? The demand goes down, or the prices go down because the demand's higher. And since mortgage rates are built on top of those returns, it should nudge rates a little bit. I know the number 200 billion seems like a massive number.
Not that big.
It's really not that big.
Yeah, for like everyone who's trying to buy a home.
Yeah.
Now, is he doing anything with institutionalized or institutional buyers? Because I saw something
He
that
put out
he
there
was-
he wants to make a law where the key word there is large institutional buyers weren't able to buy up single family residences,
i.e. BlackRock.
i.e. yeah, BlackRock. He's targeting BlackRock.
Okay.
They own
Okay.
50,000 houses in the market.
Yeah, because there's not and I was looking at a map. There's not a ton, but there's a ton in Arizona. So I feel like it affects us more than anything.
If you think about it, it's a lot of houses, but it's only 7% of the housing market in the United States.
Not even 7, it's 2.
Is it 2?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it
it's
was
not a lot at
7.
all.
Yeah, if you looked at the amount of purchases last year in the housing market, about 30% of all transactions were done so in an investment environment. Of that investment environment, 7% were institutional. Of that 7%, only 2% were large institutions.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what got me then.
Just think about this, guys. How many states are there?
Well, including Venezuela?
Yeah, 51 plus Venezuela.
52 if you want to count Venezuela and Canada. Or 53, we're gonna buy Greenland too. But here's the thing, right? If it's 60,000 homes, if they're all spread equally, it's 1,200 homes per state. How many major cities do each state have? 5? Major metropolitans. We say just about 5. That means there's 240 homes in every city across the country that Big Rock bought. Not Big Rock. Haha, Big Rock. What's up? BlackRock. But that was over the course of a year. So that's 20 a month. Is that really affecting the buyer pool? No. But what it is it's a shiny news line. My brain is not working this morning. Headline. It's a shiny headline. It gets people to say, oh, investors are bad. Daddy Trump's trying to save the housing market by making investors not be able to buy houses. Well, guys, there's a lot of shit houses out there that we need investors to buy. Like Jim.
Yeah, I got a ton for you.
That's the thing.
I got one now.
It's not going to be a massive change when they change wholesale investment or institutional buyers. What will be a huge change is when we start seeing the affordability of life go down. Because right now, it's hard to live. Everything's friggin' expensive. The cost of goods and services have raised 150%. The average salary has raised 20. We have a 130% problem. Right? When we're okay paying $5 a gallon, a $500,000 house doesn't look that expensive because you're making $300,000 a year. We are fast on our way to a Venezuela billion-dollar banknote because they just keep moving the target, right? Make you feel better. Your house, a $500,000 house. Right? How many people made more money last year than they made the year prior, but you feel more broke? Shit's more expensive. We need to fix that first. And how do we fix that? Well, here's my take on it. Venezuela was a political coup, had nothing to do with justice reform or drugs. Otherwise, they would have tried the guy in Florida, not New York. If and when we take over the oil reserves, I feel like that's a definite. We are bullies in that space. It decreases the cost of gas and other oil and fuel related expenses drastically. Those expenses directly correlate to the cost of goods and services by reducing overall transit costs, maybe upwards of 70%. So if I can get a boatload of milk, eggs, butter, cheese, chicken, rice, and beans for 70% less to travel it across the nation, which is the major expense of travel and shipping, then doesn't that change the cost at the checkout? Now we're starting to see a big picture, aren't we? Has nothing to do with your political affiliations. Just have to look at what the money's doing. What is this play doing? Well, most people are going to be affected by the cost of gas. Some more than others. Everyone's affected by the cost of groceries. Some more than others. We have a lot to do and understand to help buyers navigate this market, especially with news medias and headlines like this, because people are like, oh, does that mean rates are going to drop down to 3% again?
Nope.
I would love them to. It's highly unlikely. If we can get them in the
They got
fives,
that low, you got to compete with me.
yeah, right. I'll start giving money away. But here's the thing. People that buy and sell, that need to buy and sell, are going to buy and sell. This is just something that's going to pique the minds of people who are watching. And if you're not having conversations with them, if you're not in a relationship with them, you're not going to catch them when they step off the fence. So great conversation today, you guys.
Oh, we're out of time.
We're out of time. What do you got, Jim?
I was going to say, I found that when people say, I'm going to wait for rates to drop, dive into that, discover that, ask them, what is about the rates that's concerning you. It's always going to come down to their monthly payment or affordability, but ask them, you remember 2021 when rates were 2.5%, 3%, what were houses selling for? 60,000 over asking with all contingencies removed for a house you didn't really like just because it was available and had 4 walls and a roof. Would you rather have that again? Or would you rather buy something now? And if rates go down, refi, and you're sitting pretty.
Yeah. There's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Thank you so much.
You guys,
Appreciate it.
you guys are getting smarter every day.
True.
And if you want some help, guys, who raise your hand if you have artificial intelligence that you can plug into.
Everyone.
Take an article and say, explain this to me like I'm 10.
I'm going to do that. Thank you.
Help me understand how this affects my life. Help me understand how this affects my sellers. Help me understand how this affects the economy in Lower Mesa, right? You could be super detailed about it. That's why we have these things, guys. Use them to help understand life, not just write pretty emails for you. Until then, was today worth your time?
Yes, thank you.
Good. I will see you on Monday. You will all have great wins to share, won't you?
Yes.
Yes.